Nancy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's get it, let's do it, let's go. Yeah, let's go, let's get it. With Auntie Leah. Yeah, come on, let's do it. Nothing better than kicking it with Auntie Leah. Oh yeah. Auntie Leah is in the house. Yeah. We are kicking it with Auntie Leah. Yeah, let's get it, let's do it. Come on in. Come on in now. So Auntie Leah can do a thing. Yeah.
He was the voice that
Yo. Welcome back to Kicking It with Auntie Leah. Can you guys hear me? Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 2 in the chat if you cannot hear me. Sound check, guys. 1 in the chat if you can't hear me.
I hear you now.
You can hear me? How come I can't control the volume on this? Because I'm... No. Yeah. Okay. So, welcome back to Kicking It with Auntie Leah. I'm so glad to have you guys back in the house with us. Let's see who's in the chat. We have Jennifer, welcome. Patricia Blair, welcome. Margie, welcome. We got Jay Mizak on the panel. Welcome. Welcome back to Kicking It with Auntie Leah. Like I said, thank you guys for returning. Thank you guys to everybody that's in the bushes as well for just coming back to kick it with us. Tonight we got a very excited topic that we're talking about. We are exploring the life of Craig Mack. This is another segment of the Hip Hop is a Graveyard series. Shout out to Jaguar Wright and Setna West, aka Wolfgang Amadeus, for allowing us to expand on this topic. Hold on just a second. Wolf may show up, but he said that he can't stay long. Jay, is the music too loud? Ms. Zach, I can't hear you, bro. Is the music too loud? Hey, Will, welcome back. Welcome back. Ms. Zach. Hold on, guys. I think I lost Ms. Zach.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay, is the music too loud? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I mean, no, it's good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It's too high. I'm trying to turn it down. Hold on a second. Is that better?
All right, that's perfect.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to shout out everybody that's in the chat that I can see. I see Margie. I see Will. We got Setna West that just entered the stage. So let's add him to the stage. He cannot stay long. So we're going to ask him if he has any comments that he wants to start, the live off with. That'd be awesome. Anything that you want to add or anything like that, or tell us, Wolfgang Amadeus?
No. Just I want to see what you guys got.
Okay.
Craig Mack was like the one of my favorite MCs, aka MC Easy from back in the day where he was Craig Mack when he was on Bad Boy. So yeah. One of my favorite albums. I wanna see what you got.
Yeah, this documentary made me remember how dope his flow was, right? His flow was dope, and nobody was ever able to mimic how he flowed on the record, right? So yeah, I can definitely agree with that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just hop right into the video, so we can start. Shout out to Jay Mizak for producing the video, co-producing. And putting the visuals together, doing the video, right? So shout out to Jay Mizak, and we also, of course, we shouting out Jaguar Wright and Wolfgang Amadeus, because if it wasn't for them, we would not have this segment, we would not have this idea, we would not even realize that hip-hop is a graveyard, unfortunately. So without further ado, we're going to get right into the video, and of course, we're going to stop periodically and expand on some things as well. All right, let's do it. Let me stop the music, you know, I'm a little off.
Welcome back to Kicking It with Auntie Leah. Family, before we roll this film, I want you to lean in. Tonight isn't just a recap, it's a reckoning. It's about a man whose voice cracked the air open and changed the temperature of
everybody
a decade.
In the chat.
It's about choices, consequences, and the kind of courage that doesn't always trend,
is it buffering
but always
for y'all?
matters.
It's buffering for me.
Here's how we move in this house.
I don't see it buffering.
We respect the craft, we honor the community.
Guys, is it buffering?
We separate what's documented from what's alleged clearly, out loud and on screen. You'll hear receipts. You'll hear testimonies. You'll also hear the rumors that shape the streets. We don't sensationalize, we contextualize, because legacy deserves clarity. I'm asking you to watch with your heart and your head. Remember where you were the first time that snare cracked and that hook hit. Then ask the harder questions with us about power, faith, friendship, and the cost of walking away. If this story moves you, talk to us. Drop your memories, your theories, your prayers. This is a two-way documentary. The comment section is our town hall. All right, lights down, volume up. On behalf of Kicking It with Auntie Leah, thank you for showing up with love and honesty. Let's press play and let the truth speak.
Never going to see me again, my friend. Craig Mack comes with the like Mack says. I stop on, crush on all the competition. Now I got 4 or 5 to live on my mission. I still rock the funk, I'm still in command. I'm still the one-man band from here to Japan. The same old, never gonna label, cleaning up the pipes with my skills like Drano. So hey yo, 1, 2, bust my boogaloo in the soul kitchen with some funk in my stew. It's been a long time since the stage for my presence. Many came, many left with none like my essence. But now I'm back black, word is born. I still get retarded even though two's gone. My rhymes put together more than water in a cup. Everybody, 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 get up and get down. Get up out of your feet. Get up, get down, baby, move your feet. Get up and get down. Get up out of your feet. Get up and get down, baby, move your feet. Many of this game, but none are competitors. Lyrics for the car rides, bass for the dance floors. I use my real name. Craig Mack's got soul. Craig Mack's been around since 0 years old. Got the honey dip that comes with the fame. Got 20 from the fame, so I won't say her name. Everything is slow if you don't like it tough. My niggas love my style, and for me, that's enough. But I'm troublemaker, then again, not a wuss. On the weekdays is business, weekends is what's underground levels of the radio with this us, not OPB, don't want sip. Get up in my room and the right to full black. Got the pay rent, I'm making another hit. My rhymes fit together more than water in a cup. Everybody, 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 get up, and get down. Everybody, your seat. Get up and get down, baby, move your feet. Get up and get down. Get up out of your seat. Get up and get down, baby, move your feet. Here comes the last verse, kicking in the air. Drum a stage, you can bind it, release you to freedom. He's the red man, solo with the clan, that's a vex. PMD, beware, that's my man. Keep from the heart, and I start on my freestyle. Been the pro, not the amateur, to the child. I set it off with my yes, y'all never stall. Clean back, hard steps, and I won't fall. A little taste to get you wet. Know how it feel before we go to cassette. Hey, Mr. MC, what you staring at me for? Sitting my friends thinking that I'm real raw. Bust the sketch, don't forget the super duper stormtrooper. Quick got set, word is born. My slow flow moves on the right. Head honcho with the chips like Pancho. Ready on the profile like Pirelli. Coming with lyrics, nothing you can tell me. My favoritism shoots like Jizzle. Your boy trying to step, now you're really missing. My rhymes stick together more than water in a cup. Everybody, 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 get up, and get down. Get up out of your seat. Get up, and get down, baby, moving your feet. Get up, and get down. Get up out of your seat. Get up, and get down, out of your feet.
This out, y'all. We're gonna take y'all back to.
I want to say that I just love Mizak's intros. I love the music that he chooses to use on the intros. I can see. I know you guys can see the difference between a video that I edit and produce by myself versus a video with Jay Mizak. I just want to give him a shout out, guys. He does amazing work. Just like Odell as well, he does amazing work. So guys, we got producers in this family that are dope, and I urge you guys to please use them. If you have your YouTube channel and you want to grow, please use them, because I do. And that's why, thank God today, I got 53,000 followers on YouTube. So shout out to Jack, shout out to Odell, and shout out to Mizak. So we'll get back into it, but I just want to shout him out. And I asked him to put together a commercial for us, so I'm sure he will play it somewhere hopefully. He didn't do it, y'all. We'll talk about that next time. I can look at the face and tell he didn't do it. Anyway, bye, nephew.
We old school just like this. Watch.
Everybody put your hands in the air. Here comes the brand new flavor in your ear. Everybody put your hands in the air. A new flavor in your ear. Now who got the flavor?
The Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now. The Funk Soul Brother.
It's Craig Mack, the Fat Funk Flavor.
People don't realize Flavor in Your Ear was a bigger record than Juicy at the time. It actually set Juicy up. Craig Mack, that's why I say he's so underplayed, but Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, was a start of the whole bad boy movement.
Bad boy, come out and play.
I know we had to do a remix, right?
He was the voice that kicked off an empire, the rapper who made the entire globe echo back, flavor in your ear. And then, almost as quickly as he arrived, he simply vanished. While his label mate, the Notorious B.I.G, ascended to hip-hop god status, Craig Mack traded Grammy nods for gospel hymns, disappearing into a remote South Carolina compound. What compelled one of hip-hop's most electric, most unique characters to walk away when he was seemingly at the peak of his power? And how could he truly find happiness, only to pass away in a humble bunkhouse, smiling, insisting he'd never felt more content? This isn't just a story, it's a journey. Get ready for the full, often untold saga of Craig Mack's meteoric rise, his perplexing exile, and the final, unexpected miracle he found. Craig Jameson Mack's early life was a fascinating blend of contrasts. Born in 1971, he split his formative years between the rough and tumble concrete canyons of the Bronx and the quieter, tree-lined cul-de-sacs of Long Island. This dual upbringing soaked him in diverse sounds and cultures, from the raw boom-bap rhythms spilling out of car windows to the backyard barbecue vibes that defined suburban summer nights. By the time he was 14, Craig was already the kid with the microphone, spitting rhymes over any beat he could find, chasing that elusive high of crafting a perfect, memorable bar. The thrill of wordplay and rhythm was an early, powerful addiction. His passion wasn't just a hobby, it was a calling. By 17...
Yo, I'm sorry to interrupt the live, but I just want to say That's why Diddy is riding around all in the cars, all in the videos, cheesing with his buck teeth, being the shitler and the diddler. That you got 4 years and 2 months today, baby. You stay in jail, bitch. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say.
That suspense music is epic, Auntie.
Thank you. But I'm shout out to God for at least giving the man 4 years. And I believe in my heart that they're cooking up some other additional charges. So the guy set his ass down, right? You got to stay behind bars, Diddy, because you did some nefarious thing. You can't get out. And I believe, hey Jay to the world, I believe that something bigger is coming. I'm going to confess it and believe it, and that's just what it is. Justice for Tanya and Rubin, justice for Tupac, justice for Biggie, justice for all the victims of the diddler. Period. All right, guys.
He'd taken the audacious
Hey,
step
to
of
the world.
pressing up his very first single, Just Rhymin', under the moniker MC Easy. It wasn't a chart topper, but it made waves in local circles. Independent record shops in New York copped it, underground DJs chopped it into their sets, and critically, a roadie gig with the legendary hip-hop duo EPMD dropped him directly into the real deal recording studios and the inner workings of the music industry. That tiny vinyl record, pressed with his own ambition, might not have shaken the globe, but it undeniably put Mack on a first-name basis with every significant A&R in New York City. His unique voice and raw talent hadn't gone unnoticed. So when a young, ambitious intern named Sean Combs, then an A&R at Uptown MCA Records, needed a distinctive, gritty voice for a Mary J. Blige remix in '92, MC Easy got the call. He answered it, rewrote his stage name to the simpler, punchier Craig Mack, and without even realizing it, stepped onto the very launching pad that would soon become the powerhouse known as Bad Boy Records. It was a fateful encounter, a moment where destiny, talent, and opportunity perfectly aligned. Fast forward to July '94. Bad Boy Records was little more than a dream and a name. Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, had barely managed to furnish his office, yet he'd already bet the entire farm, his entire vision, on Craig Mack. The anticipation was palpable, though few outside their inner circle knew the seismic shift that was about to occur. Then, Flavor in Ya Ear dropped, and with it, a swagger, a sound, a pure, unadulterated energy that hip-hop had genuinely never heard before. Those off-kilter, almost jarring drums, Mack's gravelly, undeniable drawl, and that hook. Oh, that hook. It stuck in your head like gum under a school desk, impossible to dislodge. The spark started with a beat. Easy Moby built its signature blare, coming from one single guitar note he pitched across the SP-1200 until it sang like a siren. Crate diggers also point to textures from Pepper Box, 1973 by the Peppers, folded into the groove. Moby has said the track was originally slated for Apache, but while Apache was out on the road, Puff heard it, cut a check, and the beat went to Craig Mack history-changing hands in a hallway. In the Hit Factory session, Trackmaster's Poke recalls Puff and Mo B playing the beat. Mack was hesitant for a moment, then locked in and laid what became his calling card. Puff would pair Flavor in Ya Ear with Biggie's Juicy as Bad Boy's Summer '94 1-2 punch, and the rest is bronze plaque folklore. The track was an instant phenomenon. Radio stations spun it every 6 minutes, it seemed. Clubs rewound it 3 times a night, igniting dance floors with its infectious rhythm. Within weeks, the single wasn't just popular, it was platinum, a certified smash.
Who all remembers when Flavor in Your Ear dropped? I know I do. It's my generation. Yes,
I remember.
Yeah, Flavor in Your Ear was a bigger track than Juicy. I mean, I like Juicy too, but Flavor in Your Ear changed the game, changed the rap game. It was dope. It was different.
I couldn't even put the sample in here to get copyrighted.
I know. That beat was dope. His flow was dope. Man, they dropped the ball on Craig. What you got to say, Seth? or Wolfgang, sorry about that. You know, I'm trying to correct what I call Wolf.
Nah, I ain't got nothing to say. I remember distinctively when that CD or that tape dropped, because I had the tape.
Yeah, the tape.
Flavor of the Year. That was, man. Yeah, that was a joint. So yeah,
that was it. It was hot. And then Diddy. Yeah, well, let's just listen to the documentary. Let's just listen. Let's just listen.
The accompanying video, with its stark, iconic imagery and effortless cool, was TRL before TRL even existed, cementing Mack's image in the public consciousness. Craig Mack was grinning from the pages of every major magazine, a new face of East Coast hip-hop. But the true genius of that moment wasn't just the single, it was the remix. Featuring a then-rookie, almost unknown rapper named the Notorious B.I.G., alongside Busta Rhymes, Rampage, and LL. Cool J, it wasn't just a track, it was a declaration. It wasn't just Craig Mack's moment, it announced the arrival of the next dynasty of East Coast rap, a new era spearheaded by Bad Boy. Teenagers quoted lines in lunchrooms, mimicking Mack's flow. Executives, meanwhile, quoted SoundScan numbers in boardrooms, marveling at the track's commercial dominance. One single, one unforgettable beat, and hip-hop's center of gravity lurched decisively back to New York. It was a thrilling, electrifying time, and Craig Mack was right at the heart of it all. But what happened after that would confuse hip-hop and shake Mack to his core. Here's where the fairy tale begins to fracture, where the gleaming promise of superstardom started to fray at the edges. Mack's debut album, Project Funk the World, debuted strong, landing at #1 on Billboard's Heat Seekers chart. A triumph, right? Well, just 7 days later, Biggie's Ready to Die detonated, not just entering the scene, but reshaping it entirely. It was a cruel twist of fate, a brutal stroke of bad timing, all within the same label. Suddenly, the marketing budget, the promotional efforts, the very attention of Bad Boy Records, which had been solely focused on Mack, was split and then almost entirely redirected. But why would a record producer sabotage one of his first artists that rocked with him? It appears Craig Mack...
Hold on, before you hear that part of the documentary. That is a good question. Why would a record producer executive sabotage?
No, they you said why they sabotage. The thing is that was all coordinated. You got to look at the time. Mm-hmm. At the time, Biggie was relatively unknown. Craig Mack was known first, and then Biggie became, the guy. And then, they figure they're going to shift East Coast, primarily rap, into going more gangster. And Biggie was Biggie was that. I don't know if when you move later on into this project, you guys talk about the song When God Comes, man, why'd you do this? When God Comes, if y'all talk about that, Biggie, Craig Mack even admonished Biggie in that song, talking about, how long you gonna sing that song, knowing that the issue kicking brother is dead wrong. He was talking about that song Dead Wrong. So yeah, they were pushing towards going gangster with all that anyway. Like that was their whole thing. They were just gonna go gangster with it.
Right. Okay. But and I kind of hit on that, but I don't know the details. The details are really hidden, right? All of the nefarious that went down, all of the shadiness that went down is really, really hidden. So yeah, I did to listen to that song When God Comes, and he does it's very telling. It's very telling. But I kind of think it's deeper, right? With the beef with Biggie versus Craig and what Diddy did and the record producers did. I kind of think it's what you said, because I think that me and Jay, we also researched that and we came up with that. Well, I don't know exactly what happened that made the beef, other than the fact that Diddy took Craig Mack's song, which is Flavor in the Ear, put other people on it like Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, and Biggie, and I heard that Biggie even dissed Craig Mack on his own song. Where did the beef like really begin, other than the like you said, the record producer of the company or the executive, you know, basically doing it on purpose because they wanted more gangster, like you just said.
Jealousy.
Yep.
I think Biggie was jealous of Craig Mack.
I know that for a fact. You can tell. You can tell in the videos, the interviews, the way he looked at Craig Mack. All that's just crazy. But yeah, thanks for that, Wolf, because I didn't even realize that's really, you know, what was going on. They wanted more gangster. Because I thought that Craig Mack was gangster, you know. But then when you think about it, Biggie did talk about the D-Rugs and the, you know, the unaliving and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Biggie's first album was all about, like, that's what it was about. Even that Warning, you listen to that song Warning. Oh, I mean, it was all gangster rap. You really didn't hear it. Like, Biggie was probably besides Cool G rap. Cool G rap was like gangster, but Biggie was on some he just took it to a whole nother. But not saying that you didn't have gangsters on the East Coast. It wasn't as prevalent as you would see it over here on the West. So yeah, it was all a design. They wanted to push hip hop culture more towards what Biggie was talking about versus what Craig Mack was on.
I guess it all goes back to that supposedly secret meeting they had back in the late 80s or early 90s that has disappeared off the internet. But I did read that article about changing the hip hop agenda to fill up the new prisons that they built allegedly. I don't know if you guys were able to catch that before they scrubbed the whole internet of it. But I've never, ever forgotten that meeting, that this person that was in attendance to that meeting put out an article, and now you can't find it nowhere. So thanks for that, Wolf.
Yep.
Appreciate it. All right, let's get back to it.
Mac wouldn't play the egg game.
I said he wouldn't play the egg game.
Does that mean that Biggie did? I don't know.
Took me out of a dangerous game, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was selling drugs real hard, you know? When I got the record deal, all I got cut short. So it's like he Jesus to me, you know what I'm saying? Because he just saved.
Hold up. Did y'all hear what he just said?
Nah, I ain't saying none of that. I'm not Jesus.
Wait a minute. Did y'all hear what Biggie just said? Biggie called Puffy Jesus. He said, Puffy is Jesus to me. Pay close attention to was.
You see how quick Puffy was to correct him, though. He's like, nah. I ain't
because
Jesus, nigga.
He was correcting him because he's allegedly demon conjuring, devil worshiping voodoo artist. That's what he is. So that's the only reason I think that don't I ain't Jesus. Don't compare me to him, right? But God, this stuff is strange. Look at the body language during this interaction, though, right, Jay? Look at the body language. It's telling.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I look at him like I say Jesus.
And the next question is, watch out for the thunder out this month.
He saved me.
I don't think people realize like how young we were, you know, so we're actually like kids in this multi-billion-dollar industry.
Okay, so
you know,
why is a grown man, I love you, Biggie, I love you too, Puff, rubbing his head up against this other grown man's hand? And why Puff is talking about, wait a minute, let me turn on my camera. By then he's talking about, shh. Like, don't say no. You saying too much, Negro. Shh. And yeah, okay, Big. I did take up for you. Now I'm looking at the suspect. Something ain't right with that. Is what it is. What you guys think about that? We'll keep watching, but just pay attention to the body language, guys. Pay attention.
Two young men that really had a chemistry, really got along, and were just really enjoying.
There was a genuine connection there, a genuine care.
It's all good.
But what Suge Knight revealed about the egg test in the industry is
AI and Suge.
In late 2024, from a prison phone line, Suge Knight described what he called a decades-old entertainment industry hazing ritual, something he said people whispered about but wouldn't bring up around him. Knight alleged the test involved a boiled egg and a sexual humiliation rite. He told Cuomo the point was to degrade newcomers, then judge whether they were ready. The eggs break. They say they're not ready yet. These remain Knight's allegations.
You take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, they have those guys pull their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
but
Suge.
if you just look. That's all you got to do.
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Outside of his statements and media recaps, independent corroboration hasn't surfaced. We present his account as he gave it and mark it unverified for the record. Okay, so Diddy, ever the shrewd businessman, so he claimed, pivoted hard. He poured every radio plug, every video cameo, every magazine spread, every ounce of his considerable promotional energy into Biggie's burgeoning campaign. Mack, the artist who had literally put Bad Boy on the map, watched in disbelief as his own promotional window slammed shut, seemingly overnight. It wasn't just a matter of sharing the spotlight. It felt like he was being ushered into the shadows. So let's break this down. Summer 1994. Bad Boy hits radio with a 1-2 punch Craig Mack's Flavor in Your Ear and the Notorious B.I.G's Juicy. Flavor explodes first, a top 10 single, platinum plaque, Grammy nod. Weeks later, Ready to Die turns Biggie into an album force, stacking crossover records and pulling television, clubs, and pop radio into his orbit. Inside the label, the center of gravity moves with the data. Keep feeding the artist whose album is spawning multiple mainstream hits and a larger touring footprint. Mack's project, Funk the World, goes gold and remains respected, but the spotlight follows the bigger, longer.
Y'all see the West Coast suspect in that video? That picture? Did y'all see the West Coast suspect, Snoop Doggy Dogg, in that picture? That's all I got to say. We see you, Snoop.
Run. That's the documented arc. What gets argued is why the shift hardened. Here are some concerns that were alleged. Allegation, creative friction. Friends in Mack's circle have said he resisted direction, pushing back on image and song choices. So the machine placed its bigger bets on the surer, more compliant hand. Next allegation, retaliation after death row talks. Later family accounts say Mack explored a move to death row with real numbers floated. When that got back to Puff, trust fractured and the relationship cooled. However, Diddy denied all of this and put out a statement. Bad Boy's side has denied retaliation, saying Mack chose to leave and remained free to sign elsewhere, but the rumor mill goes further. Videos and podcasts framing Mack as sidelined or sabotaged to clear runway for Biggie. These circulate widely, but haven't been verified by mainstream investigative reporting. What's left when the smoke clears is the tension between numbers and narratives. The numbers say a classic label calculus, double down on the flagship with the bigger singles and broader appeal. The narratives told by friends, family, and online commentators add human heat, creative clashes, bruised egos, and a possible breach over rival label conversations. Both truths can live in the frame. Craig Mack lit the fuse that put Bad Boy on the map. Biggie became the flagship as the charts crowned him. Everything else, retaliation stories, sabotage whispers, belongs in the documentary as
look at this. Let's look at this. What is he doing? Is he sitting there for the plot? Allegedly at Tupac's unaliving? Is that what this is? Is this the meeting? I don't know, guys, but I've never trusted Snoop Dogg when it came to Tupac's unaliving. Allegedly, he called his crew and said, do not go to Las Vegas that night. I also heard that he had a walkie-talkie, a three-way back then, listening to everything go down. Odell, what you know about that? Do you know anything about the Snoop Dogg connection? He might have stepped away, but...
I'm right here. No, just a little bit.
All right, just a little bit about it. Yeah, I think it's just weird that he's in this picture with them. So I don't know. It's alleged, but you know how I feel. I feel like that the dealer has something to do with Pac's unaliving, allegedly. So, all right, let's get back into it.
Claims set beside the record the world can see. We have learned so much about the nefarious ways of Diddy. I am inclined to believe there's more to the story and more than what the normal eye can see. In my opinion,
1995 is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of competition out there. You got a lot of brothers out there trying to get what you got and trying to take, you know what I'm saying, everybody else's position. So, you know what I'm saying, you got to make sure that your spot is better than everybody else's, and you're making sure that when you at that spot, you're keeping it higher than everybody.
Mack, listen to my man Notorious B.I.G. Frank. I'm on some quiet. I'm quiet. What's wrong? What's going on? Do your thing. Quiet.
The shade, and even in this interview, the shade.
So we're going to keep it quiet, and we're going to ask y'all for one more chance. Next.
The best video in the world, but I'm quiet.
Craig B was going to be over Death Row East. Craig Mack was going to be their first artist. And then when Pac got killed, all that shit just went down the drain.
Well, even worse, Puff began to pressure him to trim the very edges that made Craig Mack unique. He wanted him to lose that distinctive gravel in his voice, to add more radio polish, to conform to a more generic, commercially palatable sound. And then came the demand that truly stung. Diddy demanded that he fire the day-to-day manager who had been with Mack since his MC-EZ days, a loyal confidant who understood his vision. Craig, a man of integrity and fierce independence, refused. He wouldn't compromise his sound, and he certainly wouldn't betray his team. At the center was Alvin Toney, the Long Island manager who helped shop Craig's early demo and connect him to Sean Puff Combs. Tony is credited as an executive producer on Project Funk Day World, a sign of how embedded he was in Mack's camp when Bad Boy launched. Inside Bad Boy, management often flowed in-house or adjacent. Mark Pitts, later an RCA president, co-managed the Notorious B.I.G. during this period. Puff was simultaneously building a tight executive circle around his flagship acts. That setup, label plus friendly management, was standard power consolidation in 1990s hip-hop, or was it? What's on the record, credible reporting, and retrospectives chronicle creative friction between Mack's camp and Bad Boy as the label's focus shifted to Biggie. They also document Mack's later push to leave Bad Boy and even explore death row talks before ultimately moving on. None of these mainstream sources, however, publishes a verifiable paper trail or on-record quote that Diddy demanded Craig fire Alvin Toney. Online, you'll find claims that Puff wanted Mack to drop his manager to bring him under tighter Bad Boy control. These allegations circulate alongside broader theories about favoritism toward Biggie. As of now, these are unverified social claims, not backed by primary source interviews or legal contract documents available to the public, but we know how these people operate. They love to pay off the media.
Craig Mack, forever. Kick that real flavor. Eternal. This thing gon' last. Squeeze to the world, let the crowd all chill. Still bumping that flavor, 20 plus years. Here comes the brand new legend in town. Craig Mack's voice still holding it down. From Bad Boy's first spark, lit up the block. Drop that flavor, the culture unlocked. Remix with the giants, history made. Biggie Buster, LL, the anthem played. But through all the fame, he stayed the same. A humble New Yorker who changed the game. Flavor forever in your ear. Forever. Craig Mack eternal, we cheer. Queens in the building, no fear. The flavor lives on, still here. Second album dropped, Operation Get Down. Didn't chart high, but he never backed down. The industry cold, Puff focused on big. Craig stayed himself, never danced for the gig. No change, no gimmicks, no Hollywood glow. Just raw MC skills with a dangerous flow. Even when he left, the respect was intact. You can't erase the flavor, can't rewrite Mack. Put your hands up high. Yeah, flow up forever. Can't let it die. Craig Mack's name, shout it loud, don't stop. The foundation brick of that bad boy block. Forever in your ear. Forever. Craig Mack eternal. We chill. Queens in the building, no fear. The flavor lives on. Still here. He stepped from the fame, but his spirit grew strong. Took his life to the church where his heart belonged. Some didn't get it, but the truth was plain. Craig Mack lived different, he broke the chain. Not chasing clout, not stuck in the past. He chose salvation, a peace that lasts. From the stage to the pulpit, he found his lane. Craig Mack eternal, forever the flame. Flavor forever in your ear. Forever. Craig Mack eternal, we chill. Queens in the building, no fear. The flavor lives on, still here. 2018, the world felt pain. Craig Mack gone, but the legend remains. At 46 years, the news hit hard, but his voice still echoes through every yard. From the block to the charts to the word of the Lord, Craig Mack's story still strikes a chord. When the beat drops heavy, remember his name. He gave the world flavor, respect stays the same. Forever, forever. Forever in your ear. Forever. Craig Mack eternal. We chill. Queens in the building, no fear. The flavor lives on. Still here. Still here. Flavor forever. Pump the beat, let it roll. From the block to the church, he still saves souls. Bad boy legend, let's make it known. Craig Mack forever, his throne, his own. Yeah. Flavor in your ear. Forever. Craig Mack. Rest in power. The flavor lives on.
Now let's dig deeper into the Craig Mack story. This defiance came at a steep cost. Studio time, once readily available, began to dry up. Tour offers which had been pouring in mysteriously vanished. By '96, Craig Mack, the first face of Bad Boy, the pioneer, felt like a ghost haunting his own house by his own label. The momentum he'd built, the incredible spark he'd ignited, was being systematically extinguished, not by the public, but by the very people who were supposed to champion him. The once bright spotlight dimmed, leaving him to wonder what had gone wrong. Sadly, friends describe a man hurt, isolated, and trying to find footing. At Craig's Long Island memorial, DJ Scratch recalled years of people bullying Craig and bad treatment from those who were supposed to be his friends. After the rush of '94, '95, Craig Mack walked away from the center of the machine. He just couldn't stomach the betrayal. Here's an example of a crisis point. In interviews filmed shortly before he died, Craig recounts a violent impulse tied to a business dispute. He says he thought about killing someone, then, driving and scanning radio, heard preacher R.G. stare and broke down crying.
I got with somebody, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say their names. I'm just going to say somebody that wanted to do another album with me. So I said, cool. I gave him my price. And the price was, to me, was low. You know, and they were supposed to give me the money. And I go in the studio and I start banging out. So he came to me and was like, yo, I can only cut you a third of the money I'm supposed to give you. I said, you know what, man? I want to do these songs. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do this and that and the third, let's do it. You give me the money as we go. You know what I'm saying? I'll take a third again. I'll take a third again when we finish the actual recording of the album. Nothing happened. No money. So I stopped recording. So I'm not going to be an idiot and sit here and do all this stuff for everybody. And I'm not going to see anything from it. You know, next thing I know, money come, with this bullish mafia mentality with him and his goons and all that stuff like that. Talking about, yo, you owe us an album. And I'm like, excuse my friends, but I don't owe you shit. You owe me money.
I got a question, guys. Who was he talking about? He didn't say the person's name. He said he did a record with them before, and he went back and tried to do another record. Who was he talking about, guys?
You know who he's talking about, Hansie.
Wolfgang, Amadeus, if you're still with us, who was Craig Mack talking about? When
I'm not sure. I saw the interview, but I'm not sure.
I think he's talking about Diddy, allegedly. That's what I think. I don't know for sure 100% fact because Craig.
He said another album. Who else he did an album with?
Yeah, that's a dead giveaway. That's a dead giveaway. You're right. That definitely did he. Yeah. Various boy. Did he trying to be a mafia boss in New York? Trying to punk Craig Mack into doing the album like, you know, I got goons. You know, I got muscle. Ain't nobody scared of you, Shitler. Nobody. Not a soul.
Nobody.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So if you come up with the rest of this dough, then we can come up with the rest of the album. No dough, no records. That's it. I don't think you know what you mean when you're saying that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what type of dude I am. You know what kind of muscle I got.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying? Right now, you need to be in the studio. So I said, all right, meet me up there at 7 o'clock. And I went and got one of my gunmen. My man, I'm not going to mention his name either. He came with me up there. Okay? And they saw him, and they fell back because they were going to do something to me. But they didn't. So we talked about it, you know, came to definite, look, no cash, no record. I'm not going to be sitting here going in the studio all night, every night, busting my ass, and I ain't seeing nothing from it. And you're making me feel like even if you did have the rest of that cash, us taking it to the next level is going to be a problem because it's going to be money problem. I
got a question for you guys.
So,
and I'm sorry to keep interrupting.
A couple of threats.
But it's something different about his appearance, don't you think? Look at Craig Mack's complexion compared to what he did look like. Doesn't he look much darker?
Yeah.
Much, you know, that was also kind of weird to me as well. Like, if you look at his earlier pictures, he was much lighter and much brighter, but right here he looks a tad bit not himself, right? In my opinion, guys, it's a sad situation.
You know, passing by in the street and everything else, a couple of threats. And I was sitting there, going to pick up my sister from work. And I'm in her car, I'm driving her car to go pick up from work. And I just was sitting in the chair and I was like, God, I'm so tired of everything that's going on.
I agree.
I was in my sister, I called my sister because we've known each other for so long, you know what I'm saying? It's like brother and sister, you know. But I was in my sister's car and I had a gun in my lap. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to God, I'm like, Lord, I don't want to do this. But if it comes to getting ugly where somebody's going to be trying to kill me, I'm going to have to do something first or do something to prevent that from happening. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm frustrated. I really need your advice and your love right now. And I started flipping around the radio station, 660 AM or FM, one of them stations where the Supreme team used to be on. Early in the morning, and the dudes from Albert Hempstead would have that joints blasting. You know, so I was looking for that. And when I turned the station, all this gospel music came on. And it was this song I've never heard before in my life ever, but I knew that it was God talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way it made me feel emotionally. I broke down, started crying all over the place in the car. And I'm sorry. I was thinking about trying to do this to somebody because it was really in my heart to kill him. You know what I'm saying? I was going to do it. But I knew in my conscience also that that's not the right thing you're supposed to be doing.
That encounter, he says, is what made him leave New York and choose faith over fame. We will go deeper into this encounter with R.G. Stair later on in the documentary. But in '97, Mack resurfaced, attempting to reclaim his narrative with Operation Get Down. It was a darker, grittier record, a stark contrast to the shiny suit era that Diddy was now pushing for other artists. Much of it was cut in L.A., far from the bustling bad boy offices, almost as if Mack was trying to escape the label's pervasive influence. Critics, those who bothered to listen, praised its raw honesty and its uncompromising sound. It was a return to his roots, a defiant stand against commercial pressure, But sadly, his fans, without the promotional rocket fuel of Bad Boy behind it, barely noticed Craig's new music. This crushed him. The album crawled to just 200,000 units sold. While respectable for an independent artist, for a Bad Boy sequel following a platinum debut, it was deemed a disaster. The industry, ever fickle, saw it as a failure. Interviews became awkward, uncomfortable affairs. Every single question seemed to circle back to Biggie's tragic death, a shadow that Mac couldn't escape. And every answer from Mac, tinged with a palpable sense of injustice, circled back to his profound frustration with Diddy and his former label. He felt misunderstood, sidelined, and frankly betrayed. What he lost along that path is clearer on paper than his private emotions. By stepping away, he forfeited the obvious opportunity stream, reunion tour money, steady festival bookings, and the feature nostalgia economy that sustained many 90s peers. He surrendered mainstream visibility and much of the label-driven promo machine that once carried him. Yet he hadn't abandoned music entirely. Producer Eric Sermon said Mac was being lined up to appear on a new single shortly before his death, proof the door wasn't fully closed. By 99, unable to endure the stagnant limbo any longer, he quietly asked for release from his contract. He packed 2 duffel bags, a symbolic shedding of his past, and left New York in a rented U-Haul, driving away from the epicenter of hip-hop and the ghosts of what might have been. For the next decade, Mac drifted through the fringes of the industry. He'd pop up on obscure mixtapes, lending his distinctive voice to underground projects. He ghost wrote for younger, aspiring acts, his lyrical prowess still intact even if uncredited. He took odd jobs, anything to keep the lights on, to maintain a semblance of normalcy. The spotlight that once followed his every move, that had once burned so brightly, now felt like a distant rumor, a fading echo of a glorious past. He was no longer the face of a movement, he was simply Craig Mack trying to make his way. Then came 2012, a pivotal year that would dramatically alter the course of Craig Mack's life. He was broke, spiritually burned out, and adrift. During a midnight drive through the desolate stretches of the Carolinas, he stumbled upon an AM radio sermon. The preacher, an elderly, thunder-voiced prophet named Ralph Gordon Stair, spoke with an intensity that resonated deep within Mac's soul. It felt to Craig as if Stair was speaking directly to him, addressing the very turmoil raging inside him. It was a moment of profound, unexpected connection. Within weeks, Mac had made a life-altering decision. He donated his remaining savings, packed his meager belongings once more, and moved into the Overcomer Ministries fenced compound in Walterboro, South Carolina. He traded microphones for hay bales, recording studios for morning prayer services. It was a radical departure from everything he'd known. Life inside the compound was austere and regimented. Cell phones were forbidden, birthdays were shunned as worldly celebrations, and members referred to each other simply as brother and sister. It was a complete immersion into a new insular world. In church, Craig publicly renounces his old life as wickedness, telling the congregation he's done with rap's temptations. Coverage of the 2012-2016 Overcomer Ministry clips shows how radically his values had shifted, guilt, repentance, and distance from the industry. In a 2012 church video, when asked what he used to do in the world, Mac answered one word, wickedness, then righteousness. The clip signaled a spiritual break from his past life and from the industry that made him famous.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Craig Mack.
And what did you used to do when you was in the world?
Wickedness.
Oh, okay. And what are you doing now?
Righteousness.
Whoa, hallelujah. Oh, my God. So you see?
Public reporting at the time framed Overcomer as hyper-conservative and apocalyptic, led by R.G., Brother Stair, who had a history of legal trouble. Mac's move there startled fans and, according to coverage, even concerned some family members who feared he was in a controlling community. Whatever the outside read, Mac appeared resolved. Close collaborator Alvin Toney told reporters Mac was prepared to go home to the Lord. He also turned down a highly visible lane back to the spotlight, the 2016-17 Bad Boy reunion. a decision Sean Combs publicly said he respected, noting how stressful the game can be and how some people choose God over the back and forth of fame. That choice suggests a man prioritizing conviction over career. That brings me to my next question. Why does everyone in the industry that refuse to comply with its demands run to the Most High God?
Good question. Why do you think that a lot of people, even though I exaggerated in my script and said everybody, there's a lot of people that are in this industry like just take off to the Most High God? Granted, there's different, some go to different religions, but for the most part, they're running to God. Why do you think that is? I personally think that it's a lot of evil, a lot of witchcraft, a lot of rituals, a lot of demon conjuring, a lot of devil worshiping that is in this industry. This is why you see.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Go ahead, guys. Expand a little if you guys want.
No, that's the same thing. You see, look at Mace. Well, Mace is still a piece of crap, but he went straight to God. But you see so much evil, I guess, then that's the only way to go.
Yeah.
God may have shown, maybe these people went into the industry, didn't have a lot of belief or faith in them, and then they saw and they was like, that's all they needed to see.
Yeah. Yep. So we input a short list, and this is not everybody. This is a short list of prominent industry artists that left the industry and joined some type of faith that had to do, with God, trying to cleanse themselves or whatever. Like Craig Mack said, when that fake prophet, it's sad that cult is what it was, got a hold of him, but that's all. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that that's what happened, because that cult taught him that he didn't need medical attention. I think that's just crazy, because in my opinion, God gives doctors wisdom. That's just my opinion, though. But in that cult, he did not get treated for his sicknesses, and this is ultimately how he ended up passing away. He refused it. He didn't believe in it. Right, and that's what he was being taught in this cult. If God don't heal me, I'm ready to meet my maker. That's not how faith works. That's just not it. Okay? That's my opinion. That's not how it works. Sometimes your faith is not at that level, and you need a doctor, because your faith is not at that level. So it ultimately, to me, caused his demise under this cult leader. So, but we do have a small list, and I want to go ahead and just apologize to Nathaniel Rubin, because we do have Shine in this clip. And when I was making it, it didn't dawn on me that he was part of her.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't
when
either.
I made that was days ago, remember?
Right, and it didn't dawn on me neither. Right, so I want to apologize to Nathaniel Rubin that he is mentioned in this, but we all know, just by what you told us about Shine, that he may have ran to this religion, but he's still shady AF, right? So let's just get back into it. And justice for Nathaniel Rubin, I don't think it's over. I know that the sentencing was disappointing, but I'm just going to still believe that there's some more charges coming up. I got to believe it. I can't just let go of my faith, because he has did so much. So, and bye, Wolf. Sorry, he already said he couldn't stay long. So let's get back into the video.
Well, 1. Mace, Harlem World, Bad Boy Records. At the peak of his career in the late 1990s, Mace left Bad Boy Records, shocking the industry by announcing that God had called him to be a pastor. He became an ordained minister, founded El Elyon International Church in Atlanta, and for years balanced ministry with occasional brief returns to music. 2. Rev Run, Run DMC, Joseph, Rev Run, Simmons of Run DMC, became an ordained minister in the mid-1990s. Though he didn't completely leave hip-hop, he shifted his focus to faith, family, and ministry, blending entertainment like Run's House on MTV with his role as a reverend. 3. Curtis Blow, one of hip-hop's pioneers. Curtis Blow became an ordained minister in the 1990s. He started the hip-hop church in Harlem and often preaches, blending his legacy as a rap legend with his religious faith. 4. Montel Jordan. Known for the hit, "This Is How We Do It," Montel stepped away from the industry and became a worship leader at Victory World Church in Georgia. He continues to create gospel and worship music tied to his faith. 5. Loon, formerly with Bad Boy. After leaving Bad Boy Records, Loon converted to Islam and eventually left the music industry. While not specifically in the Christian church, his story is often cited alongside rappers who stepped away from secular music for spiritual callings. 6. Shine. After his prison release, Shine converted to Orthodox Judaism. Though not Christian ministry, his life pivot was rooted in faith and religious devotion, including entering politics. 7. No Malice, formerly of Clips. Gene Thornton, half of the duo Clips with his brother Pusha T, became a devout Christian and left behind much of the drug rap content he was known for. He rebranded as No Malice, writing books, giving testimony, and rapping with a heavy emphasis on faith. 8. MC Hammer. After his mainstream success, MC Hammer became an ordained preacher in the 1990s. He has balanced church leadership with occasional returns to music and business. This is just a small list of industry artists that ran from the industry into the arms of the Most High God. Not all the same faith, though. Friends from the industry, hearing whispers of his whereabouts, rang alarm bells. Reports began to surface describing the group as a cult, and its controversial leader, Ralph Gordon Stair, later faced serious allegations, including sexual abuse charges. Concerns mounted that Mack, in his vulnerable state, might be exploited. But inside the gates, Mack claimed he had finally found what he'd been desperately searching for: peace. He cut no more secular verses, released no comeback singles, completely renouncing his former life. Instead, he filmed lo-fi videos, often with a simple backdrop, rapping about redemption, faith, and his new spiritual journey, posting them to a tiny YouTube channel. He politely but firmly declined every reunion tour offer, every attempt to lure him back to the world he had so definitively left behind. He was a changed man, and he seemed content with his new path. Those close to Mack during his final years described a profound transformation. He grew noticeably thinner, his once boisterous personality becoming gentler, more serene. He was forever quoting scripture, finding solace and wisdom in its verses, yet still, every now and then, he'd spontaneously spit flawless 16-bar freestyles over kitchen tables, a testament to his enduring lyrical gift. The fire hadn't completely died, it had simply been refocused. But in 2017, tragedy struck and his health began to decline. He suffered from heart murmurs, a serious condition, but he shrugged off hospital visits and medical advice with a calm, almost fatalistic acceptance. "If the Lord calls me home," he would often say, a peaceful smile on his face, "I'm ready." He had made his peace with his fate, whatever it might be. There's no public record of the exact day Craig Mack learned his HIV/AIDS diagnosis. What his family believes is that he found out while he was still in New York before he left the city in 2007. Soon after, he took his children to Walterboro, South Carolina, and joined the Overcomer Ministry, stepping further away from the industry and public life. By 2014, relatives say the signs were visible rapid weight loss, frequent illness. To friends and fans, the explanation he gave was congestive heart failure. He was hospitalized once and took medication, but he did not continue with treatment after that. On March 12, 2018, Craig Mack died at home in Walterboro. Early news stories repeated the heart failure account. That's what his people told reporters at the time. Years later, in August 2024, a Rolling Stone investigation cited his death certificate, reporting that he died of HIV/AIDS and had refused treatment, a decision his family said they honored. So the on-screen truth is simple and human. The exact diagnosis date isn't public. His family believes he learned of it before 2007. He withdrew from the spotlight, told outsiders it was his heart, and ultimately refused care. The paper trail we have, obits then, the death certificate now, traces the quiet path he chose to walk. Mack felt a sudden, sharp chest pain. He asked for prayer, his last words an appeal to his faith, and collapsed before medics could arrive. He was only 46 years old. Back in New York, the news sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. Puffy posted a nostalgic photo on social media, a poignant tribute to the artist who had started it all for Bad Boy. Twitter erupted with an outpouring of grief filled with R.I.P. Flavor captions, remembering his iconic track. Meanwhile, inside the compound in South Carolina, the believers held a candlelit service, singing Mack's gospel rhymes, finding comfort in his spiritual legacy. They insisted, with unwavering conviction, that he had never been happier, never more at peace than on the final night of his life. It was a stark contrast of remembrance, reflecting the two vastly different worlds he had inhabited. So what truly survives of Craig Mack? What remains of the man who ignited a movement and then walked away? We have a platinum plaque, likely gathering dust in some storage unit, a tangible testament to his early success. We have a remix that still 3 decades later detonates every 90s party, a timeless anthem that refuses to fade. And we have a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of how swiftly the music industry can hoist you onto a throne, only to boot you unceremoniously into the wilderness. It's a story of ambition, talent, and the brutal realities of a cutthroat business. Yet Mack's story also carries an odd, stubborn hope, a quiet defiance that resonates long after the beats fade. He chose his own terms. He walked away from the glitz and the grind, found a version of family, however unconventional, and ultimately died professing something far larger, far more meaningful to him than chart positions or album sales. He found a spiritual home, a purpose that transcended commercial success. Next time you spin Flava in your ear, let the funk rattle your trunk. Let that iconic beat move you. But as you do, remember the man who breathed it into existence, the pioneer, the outcast, the believer in a South Carolina cornfield.
J to the World has a very valid question. And I often think about this, like, where did he get it from? It's kind of like, to me, an Eazy-E type of scenario. And listen to why I say that. Because you never heard of any of his partners, any of his children developing this disease. Just like Eazy-E's. His partner, his children did not develop this disease. It was only these two. It was only Craig Mack and it was only Eazy-E. Just think about that. Good question. How did he get it? How did he get it? I got a lot of stories I can spin about it, allegedly. I think it was manufactured. Yeah. Go ahead and say it, Jay. It was given to the man. He was Eazy-E'd. That's how I feel. Because how do you have it and nobody else around you has it? None of your partners have it. Nobody came forward. It was just you passing away of this disease, similar to Eazy-E. It was designed not to spread, in my opinion. You know, I'm starting to realize that we live in the world that we live in. It's not really what we think. It's not really what our eyes see. The government is like, they got the wool over our eyes. They know what's going on. They know what they're doing. And everybody up, the elite, they know what they're doing. Stuff is man-made. All right, guys, back to it.
Remember Craig Mack, who proved that even after the spotlight fades, even when the world forgets, you can still choose your own ending and find your own kind of peace. His legacy isn't just in the music, it's in the unexpected journey of a soul searching for meaning beyond the fame. Craig Mack was never just a moment on the charts, he was the spark that changed the temperature of a decade. From the first crack of flavor in your ear to the quiet conviction of a man choosing his own path, his story is bigger than rumor and louder than any headline. It's the sound of courage, of craft, of a voice that still moves rooms when the record drops. If this film did anything, let it remind us that legacy is a relay. We carry it now by telling the truth, by playing the music with respect, and by keeping his name alive where it matters most. In our communities, our cars, our headphones, our hearts. Long live Craig Mack. Long live the spark.
Yes.
To everyone who took this journey with us, thank you. Your time, your comments, your memories keep the culture honest. This documentary was co-produced by Jay Mizak. With love and respect to the originators who paved the way for this series, Hip Hop is a Graveyard, Jaguar Wright, and Wolfgang Amadeus. If this moved you, like, share, and subscribe to Kicking It with Auntie Leah. Drop your favorite Craig Mack memory below. The music lives on because we do.
See how light he is?
Daughter Shepherd know the rappers in the boat like that is. The boy like that is, take no roll. The front for the little like that is when the roll. The war like that is when the roll. Like them. He was the voice that kicked off an empire, you see. The rapper who made the globe yell back with glee. Flavor in your ear, a hook you can't forget. Then quick as he came, he bounced from the set. While Biggie rose to God's here acclaim. Craig Mack traded the fame to praise a new name. He left the power, the lights, the dream. For a South Carolina life quiet, serene. How'd he find peace in the bunkhouse bed? Small, all I can, all I can.
That's a new one, Auntie. I didn't hear that one before.
No, I added that because you know I'm always doing something. Shout out to everybody in the audience. Thank you guys for everybody in the chat. Shout out to Jay Mizak for this awesome video that he co-produced for me. Actually, he did edit it, so I don't know what
Shout
you call
out to
that.
you.
Right. Well, thank you. And as always, we appreciate each and every last one of you for spending your time, your hour, your night, with us. In the Hip Hop is a Graveyard series. We will be back with the next video. I think that we're doing Black Rob, right? Black Rob, right. Another bad boy entertainment artist that passed away, right? So unfortunately, like Jaguar Wright said, that this series probably will go on and on and on. And that's sad. But we are here to tell their lives. We're not here to pass judgment. We're here to tell you their story, right? We're here to tell you their story in film and in song. Jay, you got anything to say before we check out of here? Well,
good job, as always.
Good job to you. And to my nieces and nephews in the chat, we love you, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully, it'll be in a few days. So we're working on it right now. I will post, and I will keep you guys posted. Thank you guys for 53,000 followers. I did, thanks to Temper, find out where my audience is. My audience is in Jamaica. So that's why the majority of the people that the replay game is in Jamaica, and they're in a different time zone. So that's why they don't really show up on the live. But shout out to the replay game. And then what's crazy is only like 3% of my audience is in the U.S. Well, the U.S. is messy. They don't care to learn about anything that's truth or has substance. They'll be on the messy channels. They rather be on the messy channel. So let them stay over there. Shout out to the replay game. We love y'all. Jag Country, Jag Nation, all day long until we meet again. Peace. Love you, Jay. Thank you, nephew, for everything. Bye, Pat, Patricia Blair, Maria, Yvonne, Margie, Temper, Jennifer, Joy to the World, Yam J. Thank y'all. And everybody in the bushes, we appreciate y'all and know that we love you. Guys, you have a Margie, don't let me forget you, Fluffy. Okay? You too, baby. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all be blessed.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for coming. Please like, share, and subscribe. Come back again.